welcome to Home Designs by Amanda. Today we're going to make a little project. I'm making these for Our Lady's luncheon for the end of this month. It's kind of our mother and daughter banquet kind of a thing. We're having it just a little early to keep from getting into the rush of the holiday. And so these are little 3x3 card things that I'm making. We're going to put them on a back with a magnet. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how I made this one. I'll show you a few of my other ones that I have done as well. So we'll make this one today, and then this one, and this one, and this one are ones that I've already have put together. And then I have two more designs that I need to make and put together. So for the first thing, I went ahead and I stamped and cut out all my herons and lily pads, 6 of each design, and I am making 6 more because this is just kind of my sample. And then I'm going ahead and putting them on to, after I did a sample on cardstock, I'm actually putting them on watercolor paper. And then I have the cardboard. Already cut out. This is the cardboard that comes in the paper pumpkin pack, like when in your packet that has all of your supplies packed in it. It's that backing piece of paper. Or I also got it in my Memories and More packaging. So the sheet, what is that, the cellophane envelope that it comes in is packed with a piece of this pretty hard cardboard. I did not use a paper trimmer for this. I used a guillotine trimmer. So it comes straight down and it's a heavier duty thing. I'm not sure that a basic paper trimmer would actually cut this. It may, I'm not sure, but I use my heavier guillotine cutter for that. And then I have these these are recycled pieces of magnet, but you can buy magnet sheets at Walmart, or the craft store or something like that. But these were magnets that were sent to us because we get samples for our church and things like that. And so these were old samples, and I cut them down because they were full piece calendar magnets for on your refrigerator. So I'm just ripping off the shiny part so that when I go to adhere it with my tear and tape, it stays. Because on the shiny I was afraid it might pull off a little bit. So we're going to tape those onto there, and then these little cards will go on there, and they're a cute little magnet for on your refrigerator. So we're going to go ahead and make this one today. This is my sample, so it's my first one I did, and I don't care for how my water looks with the lighthouse. We're going to fix that together. I already have these all done, so I'm going to just sit them off to the side. I will show you what I did with them, but I don't need to make more of those for this project. So I have most of my stuff already mounted onto something. I am using my Stamparatus for this, as well as some stamps on acrylic blocks. I do have my new, I'm going to zoom out just a little here, give us a little more space to work with. Okay, I do have my new set that I'm using for this. I just got it yesterday. It is the Lily Pad Lake stamp set, and the corresponding lakeside framelit dies. So the dies are what I use to cut out the heron and the lily pads. I do want to make the next one probably with the sailboats because I'm so looking forward to doing the sailboats. I just didn't incorporate them into this one because I do also want room for a lighthouse on all of them because our theme is something to do with light and lighthouses. Now I can't remember. I came up with a theme. Let your light shine, or something to that effect. I don't remember the exact term. But on this one, I am using the lighthouse. So I'm going to show you how I'm going about doing this because I'm making 6 at a time. So I'm using my Stamparatus some just because it's good, it's easy, it's nice for multiple what am I looking for? Mass producing certain designs. Because parts of this design are being mass produced, but they're better just having them on a block. So this first stamp I'm using is the Lighthouse stamp from the April Paper Pumpkin. There are refills available, but the refills do not include the stamp set that came in the set or the ink spot, and you have to, in order to get the refills, you have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber already. So, but if you're interested in Paper Pumpkin or being a subscriber or anything like that, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you get signed up for it. If you sign up for Paper Pumpkin by the May 10th, you'll get the May Father's Day kit, and you'll get 10 or 50% off of your May and June boxes. So that would make them $10 for your first 2 months, or $10 each for your first 2 months. But you need to use the code for that, and I'll let you know what that is if you're interested. It's save 50, all spelled out, and then 0418. So that would be the code there if you're interested in that. And that is for if you're doing a new subscription over at paperpumpkin.com. And please sign up under me, Amanda Dixon. I would be so honored to be your demonstrator. And I would send you out a gift box or a gift envelope of things to get you started with your Paper Pumpkin. So with this, I did a soft suede. That's actually darker. I think I used... What's the other one? Oh, I used Sahara Sand on the first one, but that's okay. I don't mind how that turned out. It looks nice on the watercolor paper. So I have that on there now, and I'm going to put in... So I'm going to use the Sahara Sand for our sand, which is here. Let me get my... Here it is. So we're going to do some stamping around it. And then what I'm going to do is, you know what, I don't think I cut enough. Where'd it go? Here it is. I cut a mask out of one of those for here, but that's not going to be enough room. So I think what I'm going to need to do is go ahead and stamp. I'm going to go ahead and stamp like I did there with this, just to kind of get the angle right. And then, oh, I wrinkled my papers. And then I'm going to just do the one side, because actually I want to cover up the side of the lighthouse as well, because I want water all over on this side. Okay, so there's my mask, so I don't get water all over the place. And then I have, this is the new stamp from the Lily Pad Lake, and that is the water. They have a really cool die that goes with it, but for this project it was better to use the stamp and to lift my bird and lilies. But this is the really cool die that comes with it. It'll be neat to put that over like shiny paper and things like that. Like the sparkle, what is it, the glitter paper? The blue glitter paper in the Occasions catalog right now that's going to be discontinued soon because of the switch over to the new annual catalog. So if you're interested in that, this is Tempting Turquoise, because it goes with the coloring of what I have going on for the ladies meeting, but it is a retiring color, so it will be going out. So if you like Tempting Turquoise, you might want to think about getting yourself some ring inkers or a stamp pad or something like that. So there's that, and I like the way that turned out a lot better. So look at that there. That's so much better than how I did my first one. On the first one also, I did put in a little bit of grassy stuff behind the heron. And you know what? I think I might go ahead and do that again. At first I wasn't going to, but now I think I will. So for that, I'm going to just grab... for that one, and I guess I'll use it for this one too, I used the palm trees from the waterfront stamp set, which is carrying over. I used those and some Mint Macaron, which is a returning color. It'll be coming back as one of our core colors with the new annual catalog, so that's exciting. And I just flipped them upside down. So they're upside down and like that, kind of looking algae-like there. And so we'll just kind of put a little bit of that in there. It's kind of to look like the water, what do you want to call that? Not watercolor look, what am I looking for? Wetlands, the wetland look. So that's kind of what we're going for. And then this one is also out of the waterfront stamp set, and I'm going to use Soft Sky. That's another color that will be retiring. But I really like it for the coloring, and like I said, it goes with the colors that I'm doing for our ladies' luncheon. So that I am going to stamp off once before I start stamping it on here, and it does kind of fit like right around the lighthouse, but the coloring has changed slightly from my sample ones to my ones that I made, and I think it has to do with the watercolor paper, which I'm fine with. They still all look good, and I like the way that they are turning out. So now I just need to put on my sentiment. So I have it already mounted here, ready to go right where I want it. And I'm using my Memento black ink for that. And the other nice thing about having it mounted on here is that if you don't get a good first impression, especially with watercolor paper, we have it already all lined up with it being any stamp really, but with a sentiment that's even more, seems to be more of an issue sometimes. And I didn't, because I didn't even think of it. I should take out the foam piece when I'm using a rubber stamp set. Totally forgot. But it's okay. I didn't get anything out around it, and it turned out really nice. Got a really nice crisp impression there. So I'm going to get this stamper out of the way, and we're going to go ahead and finish putting this together. So here now we have our little, they were calling it an egret, which is just another form of a heron. So I just, because I looked it up between a heron, a crane, and the egret, and it looks like all three. My daughters really were thinking that it looked like a flamingo, and I said yes, sort of, but we have a flamingo, and it's got a little bit more fluff of leaves to it. And what was the other thing with the flamingo? It has a different beak. My oldest noticed that one. She's like, it has a different beak. So that's, oh, there they are, right in front of me. So I'm popping up the cutouts because I want them to be kind of off the thing this time instead of the lighthouse, because on the other ones it was the lighthouse that was up for most of them, I believe. And then the head of the bird is almost too small for a mini dimensional. I mean, it could probably fit if you're really careful. Almost. I guess we'll try it. On the other one, I went ahead and cut it, yeah. I cut it in half because it's just pretty narrow there, and I don't want parts of my dimensional popping out from the back sides of it on the bird's neck. A piece of white cardstock, and then I'm going to bend it just slightly down. There we go. I stamped it on white cardstock with Smoky Slate ink, and then I used the... I didn't put them back. Oh, there they are. I used the smoky slate on it and just highlighted a few little areas here and there, right, mostly around like the bottom of the feathers and around highlighted areas there. And then I went over it with the color lifter. So that's what I did for the bird, which now has a broken neck. And then for, no, I'm just kidding. For the lily pads, I was going to try to use a combination of these two, but I didn't like the way it looked. So I just went with straight dark pink Pirouette. So that's what the lily pads are. And then the pads are actually, once I stamped them, I stamped the whole thing in mint macaron. I took a sponge, like a sponge dauber. I just use sponges. Because kind of like this is wrong color, but you know, I took that and I just sponged around it and then cut it out with the dye. Kind of just give it a little bit of color, but it didn't need to be completely like colored in or anything, and I didn't have that Stamp and Blend anyway. Which there are new Stamp and Blend colors coming out in the new catalog, so that's exciting. I can't wait. Stamp and Blends are currently on back order, so they were, or not back order, non-orderable until the end of May. But they will be available in the new catalog, which is good because they're so nice. I really like them. All right, and then so here's our lily pad, and I did kind of put his feet behind the lily pad. Kind of like that. There we go. That's more what I was looking for. Okay, and then for the lighthouse, I did take my Wink of Stella, and I did just in this top part here to give it a little shine, because it is a lighthouse, you know. So there we go, like that. You could even put in a little yellow before you put Wink of Stella in. That's up to you if you want to do that or not. I'm gonna leave it like that, and then I'm gonna take and put them on my piece of cardboard here. So I'm gonna use tear and tape. This is pretty strong stuff, so I think about 3 strips is probably
okay. So good. I put 3 strips of tear and tape on both
the cardboard before I put the picture on it, and then on the piece of magnet before I put it on. So you know, there's a nice little magnet, and they are going to be put on easels. I'm making little easels out of cardstock, and so they'll be able to sit up. I don't know if you can see that very well, but they'll sit up at the ladies' seats for each lady to take home, so then they can either sit them on the easel at home or have them hanging on their refrigerator, or whichever it is that they'd like to do. So that's what I have there. So I hope you enjoyed this project today, and if you're interested in any of the products, you can go over my website and find a link to my online store or to the product that I've used here. And I'd love to have you coming by create with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and that you come back again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!